All right, good morning, fifth graders. Today we are going to be talking about your spreadsheet assignments. Let me get on my spreadsheet there. We're going to be talking about the final step in the process, which is to add a graph that shows the area of your states and two functions. Functions are when your spreadsheet acts like a calculator. So we're going to do two functions today. One will calculate the total area of your states, and one will calculate the average area of your states. So let's take a look at my spreadsheet here. I'm not really done with the first step in the assignment because I've only entered information for 5 states. Now, my information goes down to row number 6, but remember, the first row is your label, so that one doesn't count. So really, I should have information down through row 11. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how to do the other steps anyway. Let's start with the graph. So before you can do your graph, you have to tell your computer what information you want in your graph, and you do that by highlighting. So I want a graph that's going to show the area of my states, and I probably want the names of my states in there too to label it. So I'm going to highlight that information by clicking and dragging. Then I'm going to go up to the Insert menu, and there's a choice under Insert that says Chart. Chart means graph. When you click on that, you're going to see a chart that comes up. Sometimes it doesn't look, sometimes it can look a little weird. So if you click on this choice right here that says charts, you can see all of the different types of charts that you can create. For this assignment, the best choices are probably a column graph or a bar graph because they'll show each state individually. So I'll just stick with the one that I have right here already. If you want to, you can go to Customize. You can give your chart a name, which is probably a good idea. Oops. You can also do things like change fonts and colors and stuff like that. If I go all the way down to the bottom, I can change the color of my bars, for example. But you can change the background color and, like I said, change fonts around and all that. When your graph looks the way you want it to look, you click Insert, and then it goes onto your spreadsheet. And I'm going to move this because it's kind of in the way right now. There we go. So we'll just put that down there. So that's it for the graph. If you have problems graphing, one thing to look for is look in this column. If you have a label in the column like this, that can't graph. So make sure that everything in this column is just numbers. Okay, now let's talk about functions. So like I said, two functions today, one to calculate the total area of your states, one to calculate the average area of your states. You're going to start by clicking in the cell that you want the function to show up in. So I'm going to put it right here so it's in the same column as my other numbers. Then I'm going to go back up to Insert, and this time I'm going to choose Function. You'll see this funny symbol over here that represents function. These are all of the types of functions that I can do, and if I am wanting to calculate the total area, I want the sum. Sum and total mean the same thing. So I'll click on Sum, and then a weird looking formula shows up in this cell, and there are a couple of parentheses. Inside of those parentheses is where I need to put the information that I want it to add up. And I do that by highlighting. So I'm going to come back up here, highlight these numbers, and then I'm going to push Enter on my keyboard. When I do that, it calculates the total area of my states. So right here I see the actual number. And then up here, I see the function that I just created. You don't want to leave a number just randomly on your spreadsheet, so make sure you label it. Now, I want to do a function to calculate the average area. So I'm going to click in the cell that I want the number to go in. I'll go back up to Insert, or you do have a little function tool over here, a little shortcut, if you want to go there instead. This time I'm going to do the average, so I'll click Average, and again, all I need to do is highlight the numbers that I want it to use to calculate the average. Make sure you don't highlight your total. You don't want that in with your average because that'll mess up your number. So just highlight the areas of your states, push Enter, and it'll calculate that for you as well. And make sure you label it. So I have my graph, I have my two functions, my states are properly capitalized along with my abbreviations, state flowers and state birds. I of course need to add a few more states to this, but those are the things that you need to be done with the assignment. You need your graph, you need your two functions, 10 states properly capitalized. Good luck, fifth graders!